Welcome. This is Mark, and I wanted to just give you a quick overview of the Designer. This is designed for people who have designed and defined forms previously using the Forms Manager client. So it's not intended as a full training, but just to get you quickly into the Designer so you can start creating your own forms. If you go into the Templates menu, under Actions, you've got a new option here, Duplicate Template. So let's say you want to take the capability demonstration tour and you want to make a copy of it. That's what I've done here, just as a new starting point. So maybe the second document is very similar, but different name and address at the top. Why go through and create that entire form again when you can just make slight changes to that design or definition? So we're going to use that copy in just a minute. Under the Designer action here, you can see you can go in and edit existing forms and add new. So add new is going to prompt you for a PDF. Edit is going to take us right into our template, and it's going to show us everything that we're used to seeing in the previous tool. You've got page navigation on the left, so you can quickly go from page 1 to page 2. You've got some controls at the top. You've got the pointer, the pan, that's to move the page around. You can zoom in and zoom out, fit the image to the width of the screen, and then you'll see these in just a minute as I select a field. You've got copy, copy, cut, paste, that's to duplicate a field, and then to delete. You've got your fonts, font size, font color, again, everything that you're used to seeing, but it's laid out much, much easier than it's been in the past. On the left side, you've got field settings, and we'll take a look at those. You've got some page settings, page names, page numbers, page size, and these are going to be pulled from the PDF. You've got template settings, so you can give that template a name and determine or suggest, specify what options are available, so Dropbox, email, printing. And do you want to force UTC? That's one that many of you have used if you're trying to do a calculation. And then field tools show you all the different field types that are available. Again, previously, what have you seen? You've seen data types, and you've set up your field and assigned data types. Here, we're just saying what kind of field is it, and it's basically getting rid of data types, or you can say that it's all built in together. So let's get started and look at a couple of fields. We'll go ahead and take the text field tool, and we'll drag that over to first name. We're going to go ahead and resize the field. I won't make it perfect because we're really just trying to understand how it works, and we want to keep things moving. So once I have that field selected, in my field settings, I can specify the name. This is going to use XML naming conventions, so there are no spaces. And this is what value appears as the field name in the output. Our display name, of course, can be a little bit prettier. You can specify a lot of things here. Is it read-only, multi-line? What's the default value? The minimum and maximum length for a field. Is it mandatory? Do you want to capture GPS? You can choose what kind of data is going to be entered in that field. Is it alpha? Is it numbers, alpha, both? Do you allow dates and times? Do you want to enable handwriting? And then you can also change the selection area. So if you want the area where you select the field to be larger than the field itself, you can change that here. So you can see how much easier this is than what we've done before. So I'm going to go ahead and pan up a little bit, and I'm going to look at the state field next. So the state field is an option list. So we'll take that, drag our option list up. We've got to get back to our pointer. Again, we'll resize it. And we'll call that the state, display name, state, and then you choose your data source. So we'll go in and choose states. It's really that simple. That is, of course, assuming that you've already created your data source. If you haven't, you can choose none and come back and fill that in. Again, mandatory, GPS, selection area. Very, very simple. Let's go ahead and take a look next at radio buttons. Radio buttons are a little bit more complicated than those first two fields. So we'll take the radio button field tool, we'll drag that over. Similar to what you've done previously, the radio button is going to cover all the options that you have available. So make that field larger. There we go. And we'll call that payment method. So for radio buttons, we have the radio button tool. So you can take that radio button tool, you can drag that in, and what that creates is one of your options. So you can see that we can go ahead and create that first option. The value, we're going to make that one cash. Again, once you have the radio button selected, you go to radio button tools, and you drag that over. It's always going to left justify the option, and then you would just take that and put that where you want. So we'll move this one here over check. We'll change the value if that item is selected to check. You can see it's just very, very quick. We found that setting up forms using the Designer is much, much faster and easier, and I know you'll be happy with this. The next field we want to take a look at, we're going to look at one of the total fields. So this field's already here, but I just want to show you how that works. We're going to be, you add a field just like you would normally. It's a number field. You can specify the display name. You can choose what format that's going to display in. We've got some standard formats that are listed here. You can also choose custom if you want to choose a different format. So let's set the default value. Everything else is what we've seen previously in the number or text field. What we want to look at next is rules. So now we've got all the what used to be behaviors called rules. You can go in and you can see that when you choose page 2, there's one called simple expression. This looks just like it did previously in behaviors, where you're putting in that math equation that's calculating the subtotal and including the tax. Again, not difficult at all, especially since you've used the Forms Manager client to set this up previously. You can add different rules. So we've got value rules and we've got validation rules. So if you're doing pattern matching or conditional mandatory, we've seen those before. You can just add that rule right here. And again, it's got the same options that you're used to. What's the pattern? Is it an error or warning? What's the message if there's a failure? You can go in and you can delete those rules as well. So for any given field, you can add the sum and the simple expression. Again, those are the same behaviors we had before. So you can see how much easier this is because it's all visible in one place. You do have tools over here, so you can drag fields from the right side to make some of these expressions and equations a little bit easier. So I hope that makes sense so far. We've got the ability to do attachments just like you've done before. So you've got photos, GPS, and voice memo. You can change the order of the fields just by dragging and dropping. Again, it's great how simple this tool is. So we'll go back to field layout. So now we'll go ahead and hit save. That's going to tell us that our template was saved, and we can close that. And when we choose Close Template, it's going to tell us that we can go ahead and close the Designer. Notice the Designer does open in a separate tab, so you just close that tab, and you're on to the next task. I hope that answers most of your initial questions, and we look forward to talking to you more about how this works. We'll have some other videos, and there's a slew of knowledge base articles. If you go to support.naturalformsapp.com, you can get a lot more information about some of the different field types and how to use the Designer.